Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Carla Y Nix with today's inspiration. And as always, I'm here to encourage you and to remind you that you can live every day on purpose. Happy Veterans Day to those of you who are veterans. I want to first say thank you for your service to our country, to our families, to our community, to our cities, to our states, to these United States of America. Thank you. You know, I grew up military. I'm what you would call a Navy brat because my father served in the Navy for 20 years. Actually, he retired after 20 years. Um, most, not most, but really all of my childhood was living a military life. In fact, I was born in the Naval Hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas, way back, a long time ago, in October 1961. And all of my life until not resigned, retired. All I knew was military life, and it is indeed a different life than civilian life. Although after he retired, we got used to it and we adjusted and but we're thankful for my dad and what he did. He joined the Navy. I understand when he was 17 years old, actually, and he was he served his country well. I understand that he did go to war, the Korean War, during that time. In fact, he not only saw what they call it conflict or war, whatever, um, being on the ship. He saw some of his friends, in fact, killed. And I know that that was traumatic. It had to have been. I can't even imagine what it is to be in conflict and war and to see that going on. And of course, there's been many wars since then. Um, my family is basically military. I have two brothers, and they also served in the Navy. So I'm the only one who didn't. Who didn't serve in the military, but they did. And most of my uncles served in the Army or the Marines or the Navy or something in the Air Force. All branches are represented through my family. But most of my uncles and a lot of my cousins also. In fact, my cousin, who was also my godchild, my goodness, he just recently uh, retired from the army. That's just so hard to imagine. Look like I remember the day he was born, and here he is, has served a full service in the army, and we're just that we're just military. But I know a lot of people, a lot of friends who have also served in the military, and I want to thank you. But I want to say something. I appreciate what our First Lady, Michelle Obama, has done, bringing awareness and acknowledgement to the military families. And I know part of her platform has been to be a support to them. One of the things I want to personally do when I am able, as soon as I can, I want to support the Wounded Warrior um, campaign or fund or whatever, because as she points out, and as I know, and as most of you know, our military people are, the men and women should be treated well by our country. They have served, even if they didn't, even if while they were in the service, it was during peacetime. When there was no conflict, when there was no war, they still sacrificed and served because they're constantly being prepared for when there is. That's the purpose of the military, is to protect the country. And so they're always on guard. I know my younger brother Ira, he served during the Persian Gulf War, and that was a very difficult time for all of us. I remember when he was deployed, and um, we were not informed. because they couldn't do that because at that was just before the war had started. But that was what they call it, intelligence. He couldn't tell me that. I remember he called me. I forget where he was stationed at the time, probably Virginia. Um, and called me and gave me his power of attorney and was giving me information and all. And I'm like, well, why are you what why are you doing this? He said, I just need to do this. And come to find out, he was preparing to leave. And I never forget that night. I was at home watching TV, and President, I call him Daddy Bush, the first Bush, George Bush, I will never forget when he came on TV on the news and said that our country was at war. And I just, I'm like, oh, my baby brother, oh, Lord. And he was gone for quite a while. But I thank God that he came back. He came back alive. He came back with all his limbs. He came back with his mind. But some of our military people gave up everything. Even if they came back alive, they suffered and they are still suffering. I hear still so much about how the Vietnam uh, military people are still suffering PTSD, all kind of mental uh, incidents, and those unfortunately who came back with lost limbs and hurt and just physically disabled. We as a country need to embrace them, all of them, and thank them continuously and perpetually take care of them. They shouldn't have to want for anything. Them and their families, if they have families, because the families make sacrifices and they go through things as well. So we need to embrace them. We need to thank them. And we need to know what Veterans Day is about. It's not Memorial Day. There's a difference. But we're honoring those who are still alive, who served and are serving, even current military people who are serving. And we need to honor them always. They should never have to worry. I mean, our country, again, they gave up everything for us, for this country. So I want to salute you. I want to commend you. I want to thank you. I want to give honor to you. In fact, the Bible tells us to give honor to whom honor is due. So there's nothing wrong with honoring those who served and are serving us. God bless you. Thank you. May God just continuously shower you with his favor, with his blessings, with his love, with his grace, with his mercy. And may he continue to give you strength to go on. Know and realize that you've done a wonderful thing. You've done a wonderful thing, and we appreciate you and we thank you. God bless you. Happy Veterans Day.